Guys, that's your Shot Legends. Welcome to the video. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need it out there today. We got some news for you guys. Actually, I have a lot of news for you guys. I'll be dropping another video about a bunch of quality of life changes coming in the next like 4-ish, 6 months. Either way, there are some good tidbits there as well. But I'm going to put that on the main channel. That's Ash Raid Shadow Legends. Just waiting on my thumbnail. Should be up probably around the same time this video is up. Also, we have another 15x event here. So again, feel free to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you like or dislike the news content here on the channel. As you guys probably are aware and probably don't care that much, I shifted from only champion guides to a mix of news, new player guides, basic kind of 101 raid guides, and news content as well. And news content I have noticed here, well, they drop news quite frequently in raids, so it's almost a daily thing. So I don't want to overdo it on the channel, but I thought it might be cool to do since we don't do it on the other channel. Anyway, here we go. First slot legendary champions. We have Balar the Lost, Prince Kaimar, Stock the Broken, Bad El Kazar, and Teodor the Savant. This kicks off, what, June? This is Friday, tomorrow, June 20th, okay? 15x, no 2x, 15 progressive chance. We have Supreme Kale, Venus, and Shagore for one-slot legendary voids. Our one-slot epic champions are Steel Skull, Ishma, Deja, and Ampum and Urugrim. All right, so what do we think of this batch overall? Not in love with it. Certainly not in love with it. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few of these champions, though. We're going to start with Bellar the Lost. He's the newest champion, and to me, he's one of the more compelling champions in this 15x. We also have a summoning event in the game. I just saw it in the events. So maybe some of you guys will want to summon a little bit and see how you do, especially if you are summon rush during 13 hours here, especially again to help you out in corresponding Coalition, Demon Slayer, Titan events, right? However, that being said, 15x, very unlikely to even get a legendary. If you do, very unlikely to actually get the legendary. It's the ultimate pull of the proverbial slot machine, isn't it? So back to Balar. He's who I would go for, partially because he's the only dude I don't have here out of these champions, but also he's one of the more compelling. He's an attack-based champion with pretty high base attack. He's fairly new to the game. He's got a shield on his A1 and a poison sensitivity. On the target, 25% at a 50% land rate when booked on his A1. Not bad. He has a leech on his A2. Instantly activates all poisons on all enemies. So an AoE poison combustor on a 3-turn cooldown. The leech, I should say, is on all enemies as well. He's attacking one enemy here on this ability. Pretty nasty ability there on a 3-turn cooldown. Twister of Life. On his A3, Monstrous Growth. Sounds like a personal issue, my man. 3-turn cooldown, attacks one enemy again before attacking, increased accuracy on all allies, big version of course. Has a 100% chance of placing a decreased resistance on all enemies for 2 turns. And then 3 poison debuffs on the initial target for 2 turns. If the attack is critical, 3 poisons on all enemies instead. Well, this is a very robust poison combust kit, isn't it? He's placing the 3 poisons potentially on a critical hit. He has Spirit Affinity. With the poison combustion, with the leech, with the poison sensitivity. I feel like that puts him over the top as a very good, one of the best poison combustors out there. Increases champions ignore a defense effects by 1% for each poison debuff instantly activated by this champion. Interesting. I like his multipliers are pretty solid as well. Fills his turn meter by 5% whenever a poison debuff is placed on an enemy. I have to say, this is a really interesting champion. Very good champion. Hellhades.com gives him a 4. I mean, in the realm of poison activators, to me, he's a, I don't know. He even brings the decreased resistance as well, right? Poison's fairly niche in the game, of course. There is the Arakan Elixir, but overall, if you put aside his nicheness with a 5.5 legendary score on his A2 damage and a 5.8 legendary score on his A3, the fact that he brings all the poisons, has the cool passive, has the leech on all enemies, and has the poison sensitivity, I would rank him, you know, as far as, I wonder what they give like Xavier, for example, right? I'm just like splitting hairs a little bit here because 4 is still not a bad ranking, certainly. Xavier, they give a 4 as well. I think he's probably quite a bit better than Xavier, personally. He doesn't bring, did I spell Elanaril? Elanaril? Elana? Elan? Oh, how do you spell Elanaril's name? I don't want to have to edit this video. I just wanted to see what they rank good old Elanaril. How do you spell, how did I know? E-L-E-N-A-R. E-L-E-N. Ellen. All right, what do they give Elanaril? 3.5. Man, they're just really low on the poison combustors. Elanaril, to me, with the irresistible burn on the A1, she's pretty good too. Anyway, Balar the Lost, very interesting option there. Prince Kaimar, he's old school, but he's still a very good champion. If you don't have Kaimar, he might be a guy worth considering as well if you are inclined to pull, which again, I probably wouldn't recommend for most players. A full reset on his A2, the removal of buffs and the sleep, and the speed, arena, aura. You can use him everywhere, right? As a reset for a seer or whoever you're using, as a go first in the arena champion. Still a great champion. I'm a huge fan of Stalk the Broken. He was a previous fusion in the game. I like him because he does a lot. An AoE, instant activation of poison and burns, and continuous heals on all allies. He also has turn meter fill on allies on a 3-turn cooldown. He's placing poisons on his A3, again on a 3-turn cooldown. He's placing 2 continuous heals on all allies on his A3. I don't know. I'm just reminded that even with the activating the burns with the poisons as well, maybe Stalk is the dude. Stalk and Bellar are very, very good options. Both Spirit Affinity notably as well. And then we have more poison with BEK, Bad El Kazar. We're seeing Bad El Kazar used a lot more recently. We're seeing him used in the event dungeon. I use him on my event dungeon 30 team because not just the A2, which is a great ability, the full cleanse, the continuous heals, and the poisons, but really with the Prey Upon, right? 20% more damage targets under poison is beyond significant, right? So that's a really good damage escalator. That Prey Upon is really what's making Bad El Kazar viable again. He used to be the GOAT back in the day, and it was mainly because of the Malice ability, but now it's the Prey Upon because of how this game is going in terms of damage escalation. And then we just keep going, man. They're all beasts now that you think about it, right? Teodor the Savant. I said Bellar would be the guy, but primarily because I don't have him. I'm going to double down on that statement because if I didn't have Teodor, maybe I'd be compelled to go with him. He does a little bit of everything too. He's increasing the duration of burns and poisons, and then he's activating them. He's got weaken in his kit. He's got increased speed. He's also bringing poison sensitivity, but it's on all enemies. He's defense-based. He's pretty tanky as well. He has an AoE on his A1, decreased speed on that at a 50% clip. Teodor, definitely one of the better ranked and better utilized champions with the activation and the debuffs, and a lot more than that too. So Teodor is amazing. Supreme Kale isn't awful, but he's not amazing. And it's really because, and you can say this about all these champions, because Poison's still not in an amazing spot. There is the Arakan Elixir relic that everybody's talking about, and for good reason. It's busted. But that's best, at least arena-wise. We're seeing the best utility on that on, Calvalax, who's not on this list, notably, or on a Nell, who's obviously a mythical champion. Anyway, Supreme Kale, I like it because nothing can be resisted here, but, in an AoE on every move, too, with the weaken, which is very nice, doesn't need accuracy, brings a decreased resistance, brings increased accuracy on all allies. It's definitely not a bad kit, but where are we using Supreme Kale, We're not really using a Supreme Kale anywhere that it's absolutely imperative that we have him on our squad, in my opinion. But he can help you out anywhere you need a poison or alongside some of the other poison combustors that we have on the list. Venus. Man, Venus, people don't talk about Venus that often anymore. At least compared to how godlike she was back in the day. But man, she got decreased defense and a weaken. I think when Lydia came out, she was a little hit to Venus because she has the same move. They're both Void Affinity. But what I love about Venus is she's busted with Cupidus on the same team. You can have fun with her in the arena. If you have Cupidus, you might want to consider pulling a couple for Venus. This is a really strong move. The pure partner removing all buffs with a chance of getting an extra turn. They're really great together as well because Cupidus will always counterattack if Venus is on the team. In Hydra, they're a really good team still in Hydra. Not maybe S tier, but A tier certainly. They got a burn. She's got a burn on AoE on the A3 and poison on the A1 as well. She's got a boatload of HP, super tanky. She can deal a little bit of damage, and she's fast, right? There's a lot to love about Venus. HP in all battles to boot as well. Shagore, another poison, obviously, champion here, sticking with the theme. Shagore, I think Shagore is more of a B tier champion personally. He's a cool champion in AoE ×2 with a decreased defense, 3-turn duration on a 3-turn cooldown. Poisons are 4-turn duration on a 3-turn cooldown. He has a good A3 ability as well. Granted extra turn if you kill an enemy. He's ignoring shield block damage, unkillable. He's not an arena champion though. He does have instantly attacks enemies with a default skill whenever they receive damage from poisons placed by this champion, which is nice as well. He also has a sleep, which makes him certainly viable for Sand Devil on the A1 at a 75% land rate. So Shagore is good, but not. He's not the Void Legendary personally I want to see coming out of a Void Shard. That's not to say he's useless. He's not, but he's just not my fave. A lot of that still has to play with his overall utility in the game. When you get a Void, you know, you really want him to be a game changer for you. I don't think he's going to be that for a lot of players. Steel Skull, our epics. He's still got it. He's old school. I hate that it's a 4-turn cooldown, but he does have a lot of utility in some Faction Wars and Centranos and restrictive Doom Tower Secret Room content. A good support for progression. Ishma. Ishma's Knight Revenant, right? If not, I'll have to double check. Yes. I don't like Ishma at all. I maxed her and I was super underwhelmed. She has an AoE weaken, which is not bad, and then decrease the duration of all buffs on the target, increased duration buffs on the debuffs on the target on the A3. Not bad, no damage, not a lot to her kit other than, you know, she has a small chance of poison on the A1 as well. For me, she's not a champion that I'm going after. She doesn't bring enough nowadays for me to get excited about her, me to recommend building her for most players out there. Next, we have Deja. And unfortunately, I think kind of the same thing about Deja, Ash. Really, bro? She's pretty tanky, which is nice. She get an AoE decrease attack, big version. That's nice. Continuous heal on all allies on a 4-turn cooldown. Also a shield. So a little bit of healing, a little bit of shield. She has a counterattack when lizard men are attacked, and then that will heal herself and have a chance of placing a poison. Again, really not my favorite lizard men out there. She's far from it, but people seem to like her in game. I don't know, Faction Wars, Demon Lord, maybe, I guess, right? She does bring the decreased attack. She is pretty tanky. So maybe not total trash champion, not one of my faves though. So if I had to choose one, I'd probably go Steel Skull, Deja, or Delea, and then Ishma last. Next up, we have Ampum. Ampum, man, I love Ampum. Ampum's worth going for, man. He's one of the most reliable hex placers in the game. Moreover, you can use him in areas like Fire Knight. He's a triple hitter on his A1, and then a triple hitter with an AoE on the A2. A ton of damage because of the Hex and Poison synergy, not to mention the triple hitters with Giant Slayer, right? A lot of poisons. Chance of inflicting damage from a poison debuff to all enemies under Hex whenever their allies receive damage from poison debuffs. So it's kind of a shared poison vibe going on here. He looks cool. He is very good. So Ampum, definitely worth going for there. Urugrim, one of the only epics that's been nerfed in this game. They changed this this A3 from a 5-turn book down to 3 to a 6 book down to 4, which was a shame because he was a beast. He has 2 poisons on all enemies and a continuous heal on all allies. A little miniature version of Battle Kazar's Malice. Granted, the cooldown is longer, but he's not bad. He also has speed in all battles by 20%. Very hard to find an all-battle good speed aura from an epic, and Urugrim does have that. He also has a good cleanse and a big heal on a 3-turn cooldown, single target on his A2, and placing poisons on his A1. I would choose a Kemptim in a vacuum over these two champions, but Urugrim is also very good and also underrated. So there it is, guys. Those are all the epics and legendaries. Again, personally, I would skip, but if I didn't have any of these champions and I had to tier them out, here's what I would go with. I would go with Venus as a Void legendary. I would go with the Kemptim as a Void epic. To me, those are easier. I would go with Steel Skull as an epic 15. And I would go with, I think I'd probably go Teodor the Savant first and Bellar the Lost second. Kaimar third. But Kaimar's quite different. He's a poisoner on his A1, but he's totally different. If you need a reset champion, you're definitely going to go Kaimar. So to me, he's almost in a different category here, even though he technically has the poison. And then maybe stock third or fourth or whatever. Either way, it's very tough because I think there is a lot of similarity between the overall power ranking of these champions. All fairly good, though. So if you're looking for a poison activator, now might be your shot. That's going to do it for the video, guys. Thank you for watching until the end of the vid. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.